a professor of entomology. So I work with insects and I try and develop pest management programs for insects. What I'm going to be talking about is an insect called the swede midge, which is a small little insect that's about the size of a grain of rice, but it's causing devastating problems in crucifers, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, canola. And what it does, this small fly lays its eggs on the developing tissue of plants. The larvae start feeding, and then the plant gets distorted. For example, like in broccoli, if the swede midge lays its eggs in broccoli, you'll end up without a broccoli head. And if it lays its eggs in cabbage early on during the growing season, you won't end up with one cabbage head, you'll end up with multiple small cabbage heads that are about the size of a golf ball. So this is a really devastating pest, especially for the crucifer industry, which is very strong in Michigan. This insect is native to Europe and Asia, and it was first confirmed in 2000 in Canada. And it probably had already been there for about 4 years before it was really identified, because the symptoms on the plant could also be symptoms of some other things like herbicide damage to the plants. But once it was confirmed in 2000, it really has been spreading like wildfire. So it's occurred, first of all, in Ontario, Canada. In 2000, it was confirmed. Then it has been spreading through Ontario, the various counties, and over in the surrounding area. And we knew that we're right across the lake. I work in New York, so we knew we're right across the lake, and we knew that it would come to New York eventually. So what we did is we tried to develop a proactive pest management program, trying to devise scouting methods for it, treatments for it. And when it finally arrived in 2004, we were pretty ready for it, but it has continued to spread into most of the counties in New York State. We've alerted all of our growers. We have a really good, strong outreach program with Cornell Cooperative Extension, so we've alerted all of our growers. They know about swede midge and how to deal with it. It is a difficult pest to deal with, though, but the most important thing, first of all, is that you start out with clean transplants. Get those transplants from a certified grower, and then once those transplants are put in the field, you're already on the way to a good crop. But swede midge still can come in from surrounding areas. It tends to get blown in by the wind. It also comes in on transplants from other areas. The key message, really, that I want to convey to growers is try and keep it out to begin with, because once it's there, it's going to be very difficult to control it. The key message, though, is actually rotate it. So because this insect only goes to crucifers, if you have a 10-acre field of crucifers, for example, at the end of the season, harvest it, plow the residual under. Next crop should be something like sweet corn or beans, something that the swede midge does not go to. Because the swede midge has pupates in the soil as a resting stage, and then once it emerges from the soil, it'll be looking around for a crucifer to lay its eggs on. So if you put sweet corn or beans or non-crucifer crop there, the insect's going to be looking for somewhere to lay its eggs, but it's not going to have any place to do it. So that will really drive down the population. So crop rotation is probably the key message that we have here. There are insecticides that can be used, but once the population gets so out of control, it's very difficult to control it with insecticides, even the best insecticides we have. It moves around. It's been confirmed in New Jersey, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Michigan. It's probably also in Wisconsin and some other states. One of the things that has happened most recently, though, is that it's been found in the canola growing areas of Western Canada, like Saskatchewan. And once it's in those areas, it's going to be incredibly difficult to really control it, because those are crops where can't really afford to put a lot of insecticide on.